Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm your boy, Patman, and this is going to be another video in my series where I'll be doing some Halo Infinite story predictions based on the lore and backstory from the previous games and other media sources in the series. More specifically, today's video is going to be based on why I personally believe the Flood will make a return in Halo Infinite. Let's get started with reason number one, and this one's pretty obvious, but just like the entirety of this video is just pure speculation. And that is that this will be the first Halo game where we step foot on an actual Halo ring since Halo 3, which just so happens to be the last Halo FPS title that had the parasitic space zombies in it. The next thing I wanted to focus on is something that is featured predominantly in that key art that we got for Halo Infinite. And that's where we see these pieces of the ring floating or being ejected, so to speak. Now this is something really important because we've actually seen it before. Not only does this scream open world to me for Infinite, which is exactly what I want, and I covered that in my previous video in this series, but it is also a precaution against flood outbreaks. You see, small specifically defined parts of a Halo's terrain along with the underlying foundation layers can be sent into space as part of said precaution. And this has been done a couple of times in the Halo lore. For example, in Halo Escalation issue number 10, Installation 03 or Gamma Halo, a monitor ejected a segment of the ring housing the actual control room of the ring. So there is no discrimination against what parts of the ring can go. The control room is one of the most important parts of a Halo ring, and that can be ejected into space as well. But only the newer Halo array is capable of safely ejecting these segments, as long as the process is overseen by capable enough intelligence like a monitor or like Professor Anders did in Halo Wars 2. Now if you guys are enjoying this video and have enjoyed the previous videos in these series, please click that like button for me because it greatly helps out the channel more than you guys could ever know. And click that subscribe button if you guys are new here. I will help you guys stay up to date on everything Halo related, including news on MCC on PC and on Xbox, and of course, any news we get about Halo Infinite, you're already in the right place. And before we go even deeper into this video, I want you guys to comment down below, let me know what you think. Do you think the Flood will make a return, and do you want the Flood to make a return in Halo Infinite? Now, if you guys watched my previous video on the backstory of Zeta Halo or Installation 07, the ring that we're presumably going to be on in Halo Infinite, you would know that there was an infestation and an outbreak of the Flood on this ring. Now, supposedly, this infestation had been contained by the Arbiter's Swords of Sanghelios that we saw in Halo 5 in the year 2558, which takes place a few years before Halo Infinite. However, there is Flood containment facilities still on this ring, and these containments could always be broken. I mean, if one thing is for certain that we've seen so far from all these trailers for Halo Infinite is that they're going back to the roots of Halo. And in Halo 1, there was no flood outbreak until containment was broken on that ring. So who's to say that won't happen again on Zeta Halo? And there's just been so much history with the Flood on Zeta Halo, from several different proto-grave mines to the one and only Primordial being an actual grave mine. There's just too much history there to say without a doubt that there's no chance the Flood could return. Now let's focus on the Discover Hope trailer and how the events that transpired in this trailer could lead to a Flood outbreak. So in this trailer we see an EMP or an electromagnetic pulse go off, and this is probably referring to Cortana's created army and her guardians. So could this EMP affect the Halo array as well? Could it break the containment cells located on the array? Who knows? And the pilot says, not them, not again. He's almost assuredly referring to the EMP blast from the Guardian, but maybe that EMP caused the destruction of the ring. We see a piece missing. That said EMP blast could have caused something like a UNSC fleet to crash into the ring and cause that damage. But let's focus on our girl Cortana for a little bit, shall we? Now we know from the previous Halo games that Cortana came in contact with the Gravemind and got pretty cozy there with the Gravemind for a while. Had a long conversation with them, and if you guys watch the previous videos that I've done, this sounds eerily familiar, doesn't it? Yes, they say history has a way of repeating itself. And this happened before to one of the most infamous AIs the Forerunners ever built, and that is of course Mendicant Bias. The logic plague was imposed onto Mendicant Bias from a grave mine, the Primordial, and who's to say that the greatest AI the humans have ever created, Cortana, got affected by this logic plague as well. And what did that logic plague do to Mendicant Bias? Well, it made him defer to the Flood and basically become their pawn so that they could take over the universe and eventually win the war against the Forerunners, causing them to go ahead and activate the Halo array. So we know from Halo 5's legendary ending that Cortana has control of a Halo ring. We're gonna presume that that's Zeta Halo as well, the one that we're gonna presumably be on in Halo Infinite. But what would the Flood love to have control over? Oh, that's right, literally the only thing in the galaxy that can stop them. To run even further with this theory, what happened when Mendicant Bias was deferred to the Flood? Well, the Forerunners made offensive bias to combat him in the Forerunner Flood War. Now, from the hidden Cortana audio log that we have recently uncovered in the Discover Hope trailer, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I made a video on that, and from the previous info that we've seen in these Halo Infinite trailers, we could presume that we're having a new Cortana model in Halo Infinite. What if history repeated itself again and we as the humans make a new Cortana model, or basically forge a new Cortana model to combat the old one in a war against the Flood? Now, I know all of this is an extreme stretch, guys, but it makes sense to me. And I really just want to see the Brutes and the Flood return as enemies, and with that means the return of a more mature Halo game, since the Flood were really the main reason for that M rating in the old Halo games. It seems that Halo Wars 2 is going to play a major role in Halo Infinite, considering how connected it was to Halo 5. So I'm really hoping that we see Atriox and his banished army play a role in Infinite, and maybe having all these different factions at war, like Cortana's created, Atriox is banished, the UNSC, and of course the Arbiter and his Swords of Helios, all of them going at it in a War of the Stars, mind you, would be so epic and so awesome to see, and just make Halo Infinite that much better in my opinion. I really had a ton of fun making this series for you guys. I hope you guys appreciated it. The previous two videos had overwhelmingly positive reception, and I just wanted to thank you guys for that. If you guys really want to help the channel out, share these videos out on social media to your friends on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. And go ahead and join my Discord channel that I just created. The link will be down in the description below. Go ahead and check me out on Twitch because I'm streaming Halo all the time. Go ahead and give me a follow on there. The link will be down in the description as well. And just thank you guys again so much for this. And I can't wait to make more lore videos because, like I said, I had a ton of fun making these, and the demand has been great for them, so I know you guys like to see these. Remember, click that like button to show you support the video, and if you're new, click that subscribe button. Hit the bell if you guys want to stay absolutely up to date. As soon as I find out something, I make a video and upload it as quickly as possible, and I cover all Halo news on this channel, whether it be MCC, Infinite, or anything else going on in the Halo universe. Thank you guys once again for your support, and I hope to catch you guys on the next video. I'm your boy Patman, and I'm out.